3SFX presents the indoob podcast with your host, T. Sterling Watson.
Morning, Indubians. I'm T. Sterling Watson.
And I'm Kortney.
This is the Indoob podcast, where drive time meets late night talk show as we aim to entertain, enlighten, and provide an auditory escape with knowledge and nonsense. Thank you for stopping by and pressing play. We're recording live from Little New Indubia on the corner of T'Chaka and MLK Drive on this day of a day. Kortney, Deborah, Hinton, Alan, how are you doing today?
I am doing fabulous. How are you?
I am doing well. I'm breathing fabulously. Wow, I don't know why I struggle to say that word, but I'm excited, and I don't want to give away my moment of gratefulness already, but I'm going to a little bit.
Do it. Let's hear it.
We're gonna revisit it.
Yeah. Oh, darn. Okay. I was ready to hear it right now.
Oh, well, I'm gonna hit it, but I'm gonna come back to it later.
Oh, okay. So we get like a double dose.
Right.
Nice.
So we are in the, I'll say, the zenith, the pits, the trenches of allergy season. So whatever of those analogies for allergies that you want to go with, that's where we are. And I just gotta give a quick shout out to Zizal. I tried to look up how to pronounce it earlier, and just want to give them a shout out because my eyes, I can see clearly now that the rain that was in my eyes, only in my eyes, are gone.
Right.
Yeah, and I can breathe. I don't want to rip my nose off my face. There might be minimal sniffing, but sometimes it just happens regularly as we record. It's just part of just sometimes speaking and breathing and remembering to do both at the same time, or whatever. So yeah, I'm good. I am better than I have been in the last couple days because my lovely sister suggested this. I'm getting way too much into this. I'm not supposed to be talking about this yet. I'm not.
I say just go for it. If the spirit is leading you, just go with it,
It is.
We want to hear.
And hallelujah. I thank you, Lord, for Zizal. Because yes, I mean, I've been able to see. My eyes haven't been as itchy. I can't say it's perfect, but it's better. It got so bad, I was like, okay, I can't do it anymore, and I just started rubbing the eye. Yeah, and I couldn't see. It was just, it was hard. I felt like my eyelids were just, or at least one of them was just closing shut. There was some garbage stuck between my eyelids and my eyeball because I was scratching it so hard. It was bad. It was rough. And you don't normally have allergies. They don't affect you like pollen and ragweed and all that fun nature stuff.
See, I'm very fortunate because that does not, if pollen is really, really thick, I may sneeze a little bit, I may feel it a little bit, but just normal pollen and normal, allergy season just normally kind of bypasses me. Thank God.
Yeah. I think I do recall that. And then, I mean, ever since I've known you and had that envy a little bit, and I don't want to say green with envy because it's already green outside, and
with
it's just
pollen,
and pollinating all over the cars and just gross. So yeah, I would like to say that this episode is brought to you by Zizal, and that's why I'm able to be here with you now, and I'm not suffering somewhere because I'm I can't find any relief anywhere. It doesn't matter where I go. And I was just legit crying at work. I wasn't sad, just endless tears, just tears. You thought I was watching Titanic or something. I was some tween or something, but yeah, it was. That was an old reference. I'm sorry, but that's the first one I could think of.
It's a good one, though. It's a good reference, though. I understood the reference.
Okay, well, I just don't know. I can't think of anything that was heart-wrenching. I usually try to avoid them at this point. The last thing that I remember crying watching, and I'm afraid to even tell you certain things because I know if I tell you, I'm like, oh no, I'm going to be crying. But this is you I'm talking about, and yes, I'm putting you on blast because just the slightest tug of a heartstring and you're a mess. So
Yeah, I'm pretty easy to cry. Like it doesn't take much, I should say. It doesn't take much at all.
right, it doesn't,
I
no,
have to
because I
have
think
to
you
clean
even
that up a little.
I know. I was like, you left so many just things hanging there, but like I think there was the movie Dinosaur, like it was a Disney movie or something, and you even cried at that, which I still haven't seen yet, but
The Good Dinosaur, and when
The
I tell
Good
you
Dinosaur.
I bawled. Oh my gosh. Ugh, yeah, I don't yeah,
Boo-hooed,
yeah.
little
I mean,
girl snot tears and everything.
it was a really good movie though. Really, really pulled on those heartstrings. I didn't need a whole lot of help, and it happened for me. So, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Very well. It's it's on the list. I'll get to it eventually. So, and the fact that like it's on Disney Plus, and are we going to be talking about? I'm looking at the rundown, which I know I did not send to you. Um, yes, we'll be getting to Disney Plus a little bit later. Has nothing to do with
Okay.
the Good Dinosaur, but as for new things, and then I kind of floated this to you in a text earlier today, and I mean, dear and Dubian, I was blowing up Courtney's phone today just because a lot of stuff was happening. But one of those things I mentioned to her, or now I'm mentioning again for the pod, is
Hmm.
new emojis have been released. Not sure if you
Yes. So I
upgraded.
had heard. I don't know if I have. I've seen some of them, but I don't like. I've seen some of them online. I should say I haven't really seen them in my phone. I don't think.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure if I've upgraded or not. Because I know there's
Well, I
one where
don't.
it's like a blurry face or something, and I was like, well, that's cool. I can realize there's a lot
Yeah,
of like places that I can use that, but I don't know that I've actually ever seen it in my emoji keyboard.
I
So now I'm gonna
saw
have to look for it.
the upgrade came this morning, at least for me, and I'm
Okay.
like, okay, let's go for it, I guess. And so then as soon as it was done, I decided to scroll through, see if I can recognize because there are so many emoji as it is.
Hmm.
I didn't know like if I would even recognize like, is this new? So, but that was
Right.
definitely one.
So I
Um,
do have that. I have that emoji, but that's the only one that I knew to even look for. So now there's one that's like a dotted, like it's a face, and it's like it's like outlined.
yep, that was an older new one.
That's an old one. Okay.
Yeah, that
Hmm.
one's been around maybe for maybe a year or so. There is definitely
Okay.
there's an emoji encyclopedia that exists or dictionary, something
Yeah,
like that.
need to go there.
So yeah, it has all of the like the release dates and even what they mean, like what they're supposed to, what they represent.
Really?
So
Oh, that's
yeah,
helpful.
it is. And I need to go pull it up and find it one day. I don't remember where it is. I'm literally sending you two emoji right now, and I believe they are
Ooh, I see
basically
them.
hands, but
Mm-hmm.
almost as if they're high-fiving. But
Like an air high five.
yeah, they're two separate hands, but I decided to use both of them as if they're, high-fiving.
Oh,
So,
I like it. I like
it's
it.
yeah. So there's
Hmm.
definitely a bunch in there. There's some that like a lot of a lot more hand gestures. So I'm sure someone was like, "Yeah, I need a hand that does that sign like if you're trying to get a
Mm-hmm.
tip from somebody and you're rubbing your
Mm-hmm.
fingers together. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I need that sign.
There's that one. Yep.
Hmm. I need a hand that has a literally a hand out like you're holding something or you want someone to put something in your hand. And
Yeah. Okay, that's what that is. All right.
and one that's surprising that they've never had it before until now is a finger or like a hand or a finger that's pointing like you, the holder of the phone. So I'm
Hmm.
surprised that one it wasn't one that was, that's always that
There it is. Well, you sent it.
I know, but your reaction to it, like,
Wow.
it was great. And you
Oh
just
my
gasped
goodness.
as if like because it was as if I was accusing you of something, and then you just
Well,
suddenly
it
me.
feels like you're talking to me. You're talking to me. You're pointing directly at me. I am targeted right now.
Like, do you feel attacked? I'm
I
sorry.
feel attacked. I feel
That
attacked. I
it
sure
wasn't
do.
my intention. It was not my intention. I just wanted to show you, the emoji, and there. I mean, a few other ones in here, and those of you that have it, you can see it. Like, I think there's also. I'm assuming it's the back of the hand, So
Yeah, that's what I just saw that one. I'm like, how, what? Huh?
it's very, I want to say it's weird, but it is weird. Like, why would I
It
need
is
this? But
weird.
yeah,
Hmm.
there's that. There's a nice naked leg. If you want to give some leg to someone, then there's that. Um,
Bottom of the
and then
foot.
the bottom of a foot. So
Yeah.
trying to get everyone, just yeah. So I did scroll over to the fruits, and there's nothing changed there. So if you still need to send an eggplant, you got that because you're covered. You're good. So there's other. I like I said, I didn't go through all of them. I don't know what new animals are there. I mean, I was happy when the sloth was introduced, so I'm like, great, sloths are here because that is one of my like that's now, and I'm putting it out in the world, but it is no secret that I do have a uh admiration for sloths.
Hmm.
Hard to say that plurally, but and like even if you were to ask my son like what is my favorite animal, that would be his first answer because
Hmm.
I do have multiple animals that I like. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that
Okay.
those exist. But
Well,
yeah, so
I see some newish like nature looking stuff, but I don't know if it's just new to Courtney or if it's new to like iOS.
right, right. Or
So I don't know.
sometimes what they do, they update and change the emoji a
Oh,
little bit.
that's
So maybe
true.
it's like I think the ice cream looks a little different too.
Well,
Oh, one of the new ones.
the water droplets look new. There's water like in the nature section. There's bubbles,
Really?
and I don't know if that's new or if
Oh
that's new to
yeah,
me.
bubbles. Bubbles are new. Bubbles are
Okay.
new. And yes, the water looks a bit more
Realistic.
thrown.
Throne?
A little bit.
Is that what you
Oh,
said?
yeah, like it almost has a bit of a blur to it where it's like it's action water or something, like instead of
Oh,
just
see, yeah, it
drip
is. You're
drips.
right.
So
Little drip drips.
right. But
Hmm.
this time it feels more like it's a like someone just threw water at you or somebody sneezed. Sorry to make it gross, but yeah,
Hmm.
just kind of
There's
highlighted
blueberries
there.
as well.
Yeah, I just saw that. I'm like, what? I don't remember blueberries before. So I
That
think
one's
those are
new to
new.
me.
That's new.
Interesting.
I think that's a
Interesting.
dumpling. I have no idea what some of this is like not seafood. Yeah, seafood or crustaceans. What I do
Hmm.
like, and I'm sending it to you now just because it's like just a spilt cup of liquid, and I
That
found
is
that to be interesting.
cool.
It's like, yeah,
Oh,
I'm
I just saw
out.
that
I
one.
don't
Yeah.
have any more. Yeah. And then
It's my
I think I kind of
it's my
stopped
energy
there because
level
like
right now.
I got work to do. I
Yeah.
feel you. I feel you. So because I had work, I didn't continue going further because I'm sure there's more in here. They probably added some flags of countries or
Yeah.
um not country or territories or just areas. Like we're not a country, but we have a flag. So
Right.
and then there's probably emoji that's been here that I just didn't know that was there and it's new to me. Like you. It's like
Hmm.
this might just
Oh
be new to
yeah.
Courtney, but yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that
What is
was
that?
something I just wrote in because I'm like, oh yeah, I got to talk about these and make sure that she sees them. I don't know if she has yet or not. Ah, see, that's even more accurate. You just sent me a picture of a pretty much of a dead
Low
battery. So
battery. Yeah.
low battery.
That's I like both of these. I'm gonna have to use them both ad nauseum.
Right. And because as we tend to do is like, hey, how you feeling today? And then you just kind of send low battery. Oh.
Hmm.
And then I'll
Hmm.
send one of the many sad faces that have already existed. So
Right.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Get it. But yeah, the fun world of emoji. And it's well, do you say emoji as in, like sheep? Or do you say emojis as in sheeps?
Definitely plural when you say it in that way. Like um wonderful world of emojis. But if
Oh,
I'm
you
like,
like
I
this?
haven't seen, yeah, if I haven't seen that emoji, then that's, singular.
Right.
It's just all about context in
Hmm.
proper English.
Right. I believe there should be an S at the end of it. And yeah, I mean, you know me, and we've had this discussion before. At least I think we have, like the plural of sheep. I know is sheep, no
Hmm.
S.
Just
And
sheep.
right, sheep. And moose is moose, or as I
Hmm.
like to say, moosin. So,
I like that.
like look at the three moosin that are over there. There's three moosin. So
I
It
like
just
it.
feels right. It just feels right. So, but we will be moving on because I have something else I need to get off my chest.
Uh-oh.
Um,
Sounds
and again,
serious.
you've been yeah, it's a little serious. I'm sorry, but you've been briefed.
Okay.
We've discussed this over
Okay.
the
Yeah.
past week
Sure.
that the government, specifically the DMV, is a scam. Now,
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
know. I don't know. Would you say it's the same for you in Arkansas as well? Is it a scam over there too?
Um, Not as much of a scam as in your lovely state, but not as much of a scam. We have other scam areas of
Oh,
scam.
okay. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Well, what the bone I'm picking with Connecticut here and the DMV anyway is that they have car tax, which I know that's something that you don't have. So, and that's not so much the DMV, but it is connected to it because the car tax is actually for the city that you live in, or rather that the vehicle is registered in, I suppose. And you have to pay that car tax before you're allowed to renew your registration for your car.
hmm
So,
hmm
yeah, and
That's just extra,
it
and it's a barrier. It's like, why? Why are y'all being so extra in this way?
correct, correct. And I'm sure, again, with most states, if you don't have insurance on your vehicle, that can be a fine, or if you have a lapse in insurance
hmm
coverage,
hmm
that's a fine.
mm
So you really have to work very hard if you want to get that waived, and it's almost like near impossible. So I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
fine. Here's $200 just to get rid of that.
right.
And then what else do they add to it? Yeah, your emissions, which isn't that bad. It's just $20. Now, you were asking me about that, so I realized that not every state has an emissions test. It's similar to testing your car if it has like smog issues or it emits too much pollutant and you have a dirty engine and you have a bad dirty car. Go to your room.
So
So
my question with that, with the test is like, do you have to leave your car somewhere and they test it for you, or do you sit with the test, or with the car while the testing is happening? What does the emission test actually look like for you?
fantastic question. It basically here anyway, there are designated locations such as maybe not necessarily your local mechanic, but places like Firestone or Meineke or Monroe. I'm naming brands. I don't know if they're worldwide or even nationwide, but those kind of places where you bring your car to get it fixed or checked or whatever. Some of them can test your emissions for you. They're directly linked to the DMV. So once you bring your car to them, they will take it, drive it to the little shop area, do whatever test they need to do. It takes like maybe 5-10 minutes, more or less. And then they come back. It's like, hey, your car either passed or it failed. If you have a check engine light that's already on, it's going to
hmm
automatically fail. So,
Oh, okay. Yikes.
yeah.
Like, do not pass
And
go.
right, right. So it's almost not worth
Hmm.
even bringing your car to get tested unless you can get that light
Right.
off. So,
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
yeah.
Interesting.
But
Okay. Thank you for that
fortunately,
explanation.
not a problem.
Hmm.
Fortunately, both of the cars tested positive, not tested positive. Both of them uh passed the test. So they did not test positive. They do not have any diseases or, you know, emitting more diseases than they should be. I'll put it that way. Because I mean, all cars are, pollutants. So there you have it. So that's $40 because that's $20 per car. And I'm not sure if they gave me a fine. No, they didn't give me a fine. They just let me know on the DMV website, like, hey, you need to pass emissions. And there are some
Yeah.
places that have not, there are some circumstances where I think if you don't do emissions, you might get a fee or a fine for not doing it.
Oh,
And
wow.
I don't know. Yeah, again, I'm telling you, it's a scam. They're just trying to get,
It's just like,
your
yeah,
money.
just trying to get more money and trying to set you up. It's just a scam.
Truly, truly it is. Now I finally got my car re-registered because I didn't know it wasn't registered. Well, it was,
Hmm.
it expired, but they send you one notice and they expect you to remember or to take care of it. Like,
Ooh, yeah.
as whatever. So I
Yikes.
got all of that situated, got my car re-registered. That cost like 115, so it wasn't terrible. But it my current registration will now expire in 2 months. So
Are you kidding me? So
no,
it starts again.
it starts again, but fortunately everything else is taken care of. So all I have to do is just the re-registration, but that's
Yeah.
another $165 to get it re-registered or to renew the
Oh Lord.
registration.
Wow.
So the good news
Wow.
about that is that it'll be registered for the next 3 years once I do it rather than 2 months, but still
Is,
I'm
is
like,
that why it's
why
also
couldn't you
so
just
expensive? Like
why is it so
165
expensive?
seems high. No, I said is that why it's so expensive? Because it's for 3 years and not just like one or two.
Probably, yeah. And they do kind of break down a little bit of what you're paying for because you're paying for like greenhouse gases and you get like I think there's like $10 that goes to admissions to like state parks and beaches and stuff,
Ah,
which I'm like, I mean, okay, I guess.
yeah.
But
If you
yeah,
must take
that's
my money.
I guess. I mean, you gotta charge me somewhere, so
Right.
fine. At
Right.
least now I can go to the beach. So which
For
by the
free-ish
way,
kind of.
it's I mean, it's not a great beach. Like if you're gonna go to the beach, don't come to Connecticut to go to the beach. You can still go to the beach, like have a ball, but
Yeah.
that's
But
not
not
what we're here
Connecticut.
for. Yeah.
Okay.
In
Good to
fact,
know.
like I think my family, what we tend to do, we try to go over to Rhode Island to their beaches.
Hmm.
So I mean, meh. I mean, just take a trip, go down to like Myrtle Beach or Virginia Beach. They're much better
Hmm.
beaches over there. If you're trying to
Sure.
stay in the States anyway. So yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know
Sure,
you're
sure.
landlocked and I'm still trying to bring you out to Connecticut. I'm just saying, don't come out here. I'm like, hey, let's go to the beach. I'll take
Is
you,
this a
but I,
no? Is it going to
yeah,
be
it's
like super
just
disappointing if we were to do that?
for you, not really. Because again, you don't have like,
Excuse you? I'm not cultured. Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm not saying you're not cultured. I'm just saying you don't have like ocean beaches. Like you don't have direct access like Connecticut does. You have to take like long drives to get to an ocean,
Hmm,
don't you?
I do.
Hmm. I know you've been to a beach because I remember you took a trip, I think for work, and then you were like enjoying the beach at night, and I was jealous because I'm like, oh, that sounds lovely. I remember.
Hmm. Whatever.
I do have another scam that we need to discuss.
Yes, please.
This one, and I'm not sure if you can relate to this one as well, but I feel like most of us in this age bracket still may be dealing with student loans. Oh wait, no, I think you are like debt free. Like you took care of
She
all
is
your loans.
free.
Yes.
Free indeed. Ooh,
But
free of the
yes,
student debts.
the
But yes, that is
this
a scam.
definitely,
100%
definitely.
a scam.
So I have a very specific one that
Okay.
had come across my docket, if you will, my desk. Um,
Sure, sure.
First of all, I believe my whatever student loans I had left must have been forgiven or paid off or something because normally your student loans would show up in your credit report or your,
Hmm. Oh,
credit
do
score.
they? Okay.
Yeah, like if you still owe anything for any
Mm-hmm.
student loans, they should be showing
Mm-hmm.
up there. I actively check my credit using Credit Karma just to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that like there's nothing that should be out of place or like, okay, I'm aware of this credit card, I'm aware of that loan, whatever.
Yeah.
I did notice that all of my student loans have gone away.
Hmm.
I have no idea if that has anything to do with what our lovely current president has done for giving student loans. I don't know if it's affected with that or if it's just aged out and they're like, whatever. I have no idea. I don't know.
Hmm.
I just know it's no longer on my credit. Like the account says it's closed and it's been closed. And that's why I haven't been getting any mail from them. So I'm like, okay,
Interesting.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why that would be because even with the debt forgiveness stuff, I thought you had to like sign up for it or you had to actively do something to take advantage of that. That's what I thought.
Right. That's what I thought too. Because I didn't do any of that. I just ignored it, basically. Because I'm like, well, they can't really do anything to me. Like, sure, they'll, take some hits to my credit, but my credit's already kind of like hit. So,
Mm,
meh. And then I say all that because it started, I think, maybe last week, where I got a phone call from this lovely person. We'll call her Jessica because I mean that's what
mm,
she said her name was. But
mhm,
from some, I don't know, recovery, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Their phone number normally comes up as like, could be spam. And I'm like, okay, well, I won't answer it. And then she tricked me because she called me some other number. I'm like, who's this? And then I called. I was like, hey, I'm Jessica. I'm from so much and so forth. And you have a loan from SUNY Purchase from like so many years ago. And every day that goes by, it's growing even more. And you should do something about it. And I could help you. You have to go to like the student aid website, the official one from the government, and log in, get your info, and then call me back. And then we can set up a whole like forgiveness, not forgiveness, set up a whole plan so we can pay it off because
mhm,
every day that goes
mhm.
by, it's growing more and more and more. And she tells me numbers that sound familiar, like $4,000,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So I'm like, okay. And I hang up with her and then I go on to the government website thingy and I'm trying to sign up or sign into my account and it has no record of me at all. Like, yeah, we don't
Hmm.
know who you are. We don't remember I must have closed an account or whatever. I can't find this information that I'm supposed to have. And I'm not about to try to make up one because I don't have that kind of time. So I never called her back. But
Well,
she
yes,
tricked me
because
again.
but see, as you're talking about this, I'm like, this sounds like a scam though. Clearly, she
Yeah.
has just enough information to make you think that she's legit. And
Mm-hmm.
um, but then when you go anywhere, because like I still get calls about car car loans and student loans and stuff like that, and I'm like, dude, I ain't the right one because I know that I paid everything off and
Mm-hmm.
like because I have the record for it and everything. And I'm just like, you. That's when I would start asking questions of, okay, tell me when my last payment was. How much was it for? What
Right.
card? I would start asking more specific questions because and that's how they get people. They have just enough information to sound legit
Mm-hmm.
and scare people into thinking, oh my gosh, I thought I was good and apparently not because she's telling me all this stuff. When in reality, she's just a con artist.
Exactly. Exactly.
Just a con artist.
Just a con artist trying to scare me. And then I did I made the mistake and even Ashley yelled at me for doing so because I answered her call again because I got a phone call that said restricted. So I'm like, who is this? And she was like, why did you answer it? It says restricted. I'm like,
Right.
I don't know. It could be. I don't
That's
know what it
on
could be.
you.
I know. And then I'm like, hi, it's Jessica. We talked before about blah, blah, blah. And you never got back to me. And and then I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. It wasn't a good time. And now is not a good time either. Cause I mean, I literally just walked out of the grocery store. I got like a handful of milk and eggs and things that are no longer as expensive as they used to be. But I'm like, yay, eggs. So I'm like, yeah, I can't talk now. I was like, well, you need to do this because, every day your loan is going to get even more expensive, like each day,
Oh
and you got
Lord.
to take care of this. I'm like, yeah, okay, 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 I will. All right, thank you so much. And,
Yeah.
but
Click.
I am too nice. I will let them finish their rant before I hang up on them rather than
Yeah.
hang up on them in the middle of the rant. So,
Yeah. Unfortunately, those folks don't understand no, and I believe they're trained to just continue on, regardless of what you say, regardless of any objections.
hmm
Um, I, I hate being mean. I'm not mean, but I'm pretty firm and like, yeah, I'm not interested. And hey, I know you're about to say your spiel. I'm not interested. But I've been getting a lot of calls lately about buying my house, and
hmm.
that's not a scam, I don't believe, but I think the market is just so hot. They're jumping on the bandwagon of, you know, buying and selling and blah, blah, blah. And I don't, like I
They
said,
want to
I
buy
don't
your
think
house from you?
yeah, buy the house from me.
Oh,
Or like,
oh,
hey, are you interested in selling your house? um, and like I said, I don't believe it's a scam. It feels kind of sleazy to me,
hmm.
but Like the last one I had, I don't know why I answered the phone. I think maybe because I was expecting a call and the number looked familiar enough, like similar enough to where I was like, oh, maybe this is it, and I just didn't save the number or something. No, it was
Right.
a hey. So, are you the only owner of such and such the address? Yeah. Is this so and so? Yeah. What is it? Well, I was interested in, I forget how he said it because he wasn't like sleazy with it, but he was like, I was interested in maybe talking to you about purchasing your house and or something like that. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not interested in selling. He's like, well, you haven't even heard a number. I said, I'm not moving. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not, I'm not entering into that market right now. And he's like, oh, gosh, thank you. Goodbye. Have a nice day. And so I didn't
Mhm.
hang up on him, but had he kept pushing me, like I try to be nice, especially if I get like a real person and not one of those automated ones that sounds
Right.
like a real person. It's just a recording.
Mm.
But if I actually happen to get a real person, I will try to be polite. And if they continue to push, then I'm just gonna terminate the call.
Right. Exactly. Just it's
I
just so
just
easy now.
you
Although
can't.
it's not as satisfying as just hanging up a phone, like just,
Right. It is not
putting
as
down a receiver.
satisfying.
Or no.
Right.
But
But it is satisfying ending a very weird call with somebody that you don't want to talk to. So there's that.
mhm. Especially when they get a little testy, because that's what was happening with Jessica, and
Exactly.
I didn't appreciate that. So I'm like,
Hmm.
that's
Hmm.
that's enough. And I had already decided at that point, because I had talked about it with somebody else, like, yeah, now that I think about it, why are you trying so hard for me to activate all of these things to pay you so bad? No, no. It seemed fishy, so yeah. And that gave me just the confidence to just block all of the numbers because
Yep.
there was a number that called me pretty much every day. And I just like,
Oh,
yeah, so I just blocked it finally because now I know who they're calling from or what they're looking for, and they're trying to steal my money. So that is that. Just saying that just to look out because yes, there are more scams and things afoot with the student aid and student loans, and we're going to revisit this a little bit later when we get to our word watch, which I'm not ready for because I'm just trying to go down the line here. And you know what? We'll go ahead and just skip over that and get back to it, and we'll go to word watch.
Word watch.
Today's word watch or today's word is shambolic. Are you familiar with this word, Kortney?
shambolic.
Shambolic.
Shambolic. I don't believe I am familiar with this word.
Neither was I, and I thought I was like, okay, this has to do with like shams and cons and whatnot, but not quite. The definition is chaotic, disorganized,
Hmm.
mismanaged. Yes.
Okay. I like
And I
this.
wrote down a few personal examples, such as Navient, which is another uh, student loan collecting agency that my lovely wife has to deal with, and they are definitely very mismanaged and disorganized. Oh, that's a whole nother thing. Or for my sports fans out there that may be out there, the Washington Commanders are a mismanaged organization, which
Get you
hopefully
into slipping in some
I
sports
know,
references. Look,
I
who
know,
are
right?
you?
I don't know anymore, but I'm just trying to, widen my audience, my reach a little bit. Just,
Wow.
pulling in the sports people a little bit. So those who do know about the Washington Commanders know that they are going to be getting a new owner because their old one is a terrible human being, just, summing it
Mm,
up,
got it.
and
Got it.
poorly managed the team, the company, the stadium, all of it is just in shambles. It's
Mm,
shambolic over there. So
shambolic. Okay.
yes. So hopefully with the new owner that's coming, and I think he had to sell it for, oh my God, I don't want to make up the number because I really want to say it was 6 billion, but that might be too much. It might be like
Six
600 million.
billion?
It's a lot of money. The NFL makes stupid amounts of money.
They make
It's
so much. It is pretty stupid how much money they make.
I mean, yeah, I mean not just the um the NFL, but also like the owners of these teams. They are
Yes.
ridiculously, atrociously rich, wealthy.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. Um, thought I can find the number real quick, but I am not seeing it. I do know there is a six in that number. um, sold. Has it even sold yet? Okay. So I was correct. The Washington Commanders sale from owner Daniel Snyder, who's a terrible human being, to
Hmm.
Josh Harris and his group for 6 billion with a B.
Wow.
Took another step
Wow.
forward Monday. That was last week. Okay, so the deal is not yet set, but $6 billion. That's how much the Washington Commanders are worth.
Wow. Phew. $6 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I don't even
Mm-hmm.
that's
Not a
it's
number you can
hard to
fathom, is it?
comprehend. No,
Yeah.
that's so much money. Wow. Okay.
Um,
Anyway.
yeah, so examples of shambolic things. I said Navient, I said the Washington Commanders, and the people who run Warner Brothers Discovery and that yeah, streaming app that they have. Because they are very mismanaged, disorganized.
Hmm.
And I just wanted to find a way to just tell you that HBO Max will now be called Max. Just, just so you're
Like
aware of that.
literally, why can't they just have several seats, pick a name, and stick with it? Because haven't they
It's because
changed millions of times now? Millions now?
the the history of just the app alone is an interesting one, and it's one that like I read the book about basically just HBO. So I've
Hmm.
already had this back history of how HBO came to be where it is now, and the fact now that they're just kind of being tossed around like, oh well, we'll do this and let's do this with. I mean, just getting the app off the ground was a huge ordeal, and the fact that they even had like two apps at one point, I think had
Yeah.
HBO Go and HBO
Yeah.
Now.
Yes. I
Yes.
remember.
And then it changed to HBO Max, and now it's just going to be Max. So we're just dropping HBO altogether. So, and
Like,
I think
sit down
commercials
somewhere.
will be added. Yeah, it's not good. It's not great. So, and they're supposed to be adding some of the Discovery shows and programming, some of which I believe you might be into already. So they're going to add that into it. I'm like, hey, it's all going to be a nice, happy family. And I'm like, we'll see. We'll see.
Right.
I, I mean, they do have some interesting programming on the way, but they have like new animated shows, and I'm just like hurt inside because I'm like, you canceled close enough for this show. Close enough, by
Hmm.
the way. If you can catch it, if you can watch it somewhere, you might have to do some VPN streaming. I don't know how you're going to see it because I don't even know how I'm going to see it. But Courtney, that's an animated show that's made for people like us. That's
Okay.
just what I'm going to say. It's just
All right.
like 30 somethings just trying to get through life,
I love
either
it
like with little
already.
with it's great. It's hilarious, and it's one of those shows. It would be a comfort show. Like I would watch it and
Okay.
then I'll rewatch it again. So
Hmm. Hmm.
it's
I like,
yeah,
how I feel about a good comfort show. You know
I
it.
do. That's why I'm trying to get you on board with Grand Crew because that's like a perfect one. You're gonna want to be their friends. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So yes,
I believe you. You've not steered me wrong yet.
I try my best. And like if anything, I try to steer you away from certain things. Like, oh nope, this is gonna make her pull out her tissues, and then she's gonna be mad at me for making her cry indirectly. So yeah, I try. I really do. Unless it's worth it. I don't know if you cried for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Did you cry at that one?
Yes, you know this. I
Well, I
like
was
balled on that one.
well because I mean, there's so much going. Or we don't want to go down a road. I just need to ask that question because I couldn't remember because it was just so much, and I just know you enjoyed it so much. I just didn't remember if tears were involved. Okay,
Oh
we're gonna
yeah,
move on.
lots of tears. Like
Yes.
I was actually thinking about that movie, saying, "Man, I need to rewatch that movie. I'm ready. I need a good cry."
Oh, so you're
And I
looking
just,
for a cry?
yeah, I mean, sometimes you just need to get a good cry out, you know?
Okay. Well, we'll take just a little pin here. And like, do you need like a sad cry, or do you just does it matter like what is striking the emotion to get you there?
Mm, I mean, it depends, but like in this case, I just needed a good emotional cry. Like with well, this is kind of a spoiler, but with that movie, it was the husband's like choose kindness. Why don't go
Mm.
the violent right? Choose kindness. And so that was just a very emotional, connecting family, like trying to get back together and fix things. And so that sort of cry. Like I don't want somebody to be dying like Mufasa, is getting thrown off the cliff type of crying. I don't want
Okay.
that type of cry. Just
Okay.
I need a release type of cry.
All right. You answered my question because I wasn't sure okay, that helped paint a picture for me because like okay, now I remember there are things that I've seen that made me cry. I'm like, okay, this is
Hmm.
too much. Basically
Yeah.
anything Ava DuVernay makes, which is like,
Yeah.
one day I'm going to
It's
meet
like
her,
a
I'm going to tell
good,
her,
yeah.
yeah, I'm going to tell her about herself. I'm like, listen, I would like to watch something that you make and not cry. Please, please. I mean, she almost had me crying with A Wrinkle in Time. You should watch that one. That one
Yeah.
isn't too bad.
Okay.
I think that might
I
give
could
you yeah.
the feels.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I
Yeah,
can't
it's a
believe I
good one.
haven't watched it yet. I don't know why I haven't watched it yet, but just haven't.
Yeah, I think that's got a Storm Reed's breakout role too. So yeah,
Hmm. Hmm.
who to me look like a mini you, look like a mini version of you. So
She does. She could be, yeah, she could be my like little mini me.
mm-hmm.
So cute,
I
so
mean,
cute,
she's an
so
adult
precious.
now, so
Huh?
she's an adult now. I think.
Storm Reed?
I think
Is
so.
she?
Maybe.
No.
I keep forgetting that we are getting older.
You
Not
are
old,
getting
but just older.
older. She's 19 now, so wow.
Adultish. So
She's adulted. She was like 15-ish when she was in Wrinkle in Time. Well, it came out in 2018, but
mm,
anyway, I don't know.
yes. Moving on. Um, we'll go to our Black History fact.
Black History.
Black history.
Black History.
Black history.
Facts.
Since we're kind of doing tear jerkers, I just want to take a moment just to slow it down just a little bit. Talk about an icon that we lost today, or day of recording
Hmm.
anyway.
Hmm.
Um, the great Harry Belafonte. And I decided like there's his life is so prolific, and just I was like, okay, I need to find a short little thing about it because I could just go on and on and on about his achievements and what he's done for like black culture, I was gonna say black history, but no, just for our people and just awareness and civil actions and just so much. So I said all that, but let me read this instead. Harry Belafonte struggled with poverty and a turbulent family life as a child. His professional career took off with the musical Carmen Jones, which we'll talk about briefly shortly.
Hmm.
And soon he was burning up the charts with hits like the Banana Boat song or Deo and Jump in
Hmm.
the Line, which to this day I still have not heard. Um, Belafonte also championed many social and political causes and earned prestigious accolades such as the National Medal of Arts, one Tony Award, one Emmy Award, and two Grammy Awards. He died today, April 25th, 2023, at age 96.
Phew.
So,
Long
yes,
life.
long life, yes. Now, have you seen any of his films?
I don't think I have. Um, if I have, I'm not aware of which ones.
I felt that way too. Like the only one that I know for sure that I've seen is Carmen Jones
Mm.
because Netflix kept recommending it to me so many times. I'm like, all right,
Hmm.
fine, I'll watch this movie. And I'm like, okay, Netflix, I'll give you this one. You're right. I liked it. But
Okay.
I have a bone to pick. And this is a bit of a spoiler, so I'm apologizing in advance. But then again, this is a movie that's like 60, 70 years old at this point.
Hmm.
um Harry Belafonte's character Joe I'm just gonna say he was wrong, and he should have stayed with Cindy, since Karma was nothing but trouble. So I gotta say.
Okay. I don't know the
Plus,
reference. I'm
I
sure it was a
know,
good
I
one
know.
though.
I mean, and in my opinion, I thought Cindy was prettier too than Carmen Jones, who was played by, oh my God, why is her name escaping me suddenly? I mean, now I have to go look it up because I'm like, oh my God, what is her name? Um, do Carmen Jones, played by Dorothy Dandridge. There we go. I wanted to say it, but I wasn't
Oh
sure.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's no slight on Dorothy Dandridge. She is a beautiful woman,
Hmm.
but the Olga James, who played Cindy, breathtaking. Should have stuck with her. She was safe. Instead, Carmen Jones got you in so much trouble. Mm, mm. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna move on.
You having a moment there, but
A little bit.
okay.
All right, all right. Did you finish The Mandalorian?
I did.
And
Chody.
did I'm not sure quite how to phrase it. I feel like we'll just have to revisit it. I do want to talk about Pedro Pascal and him having
Okay.
a fantastic year, I would say.
Yeah, he's having a real good year.
Yes, because I mean, I feel like The Last of Us, the TV show from HBO, from that crazy company over there that has no idea what they're doing, but The Last of Us came and went, but to high acclaim. A lot of people seem to enjoy it. Did
Yeah.
you check it out at all?
I have not yet. I would like to, but I have not yet.
Now that we mention it, I think that's where you're going to get your good cry from.
Yeah, I've been seeing not like seeing spoilers any well, I know some spoilers, but I have seen a couple of places where I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna get me, and like certain characters dying, and even just watching those scenes, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't be feeling anything for these people. I don't know them, and yet here I am, like feeling things, not
Mm-hmm.
crying, mind you, but
Mm-hmm.
feeling some feelings, you know.
Right, right.
So, anyways, that's all
Now
I'm gonna say.
we're big fans of New Rock Stars and Eric Voss,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
and he did do breakdowns for every episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe there was one episode that he did, and he, I believe, started to break down himself. Like he started to
Oh,
get a little weepy. So that's how I know for sure that whatever episode that was, you will probably get a little weepy too. So you've been warned
I
or encouraged.
okay. I'm both, a little bit of both.
Both. A little bit of both. A little bit of both. I decided I didn't want to watch it, but I had just enough of a curiosity. I'm like, you know what? I'll let Eric Voss take me through, and I got the gist. So I'm like, I'm good, because I mean, my time is limited. I didn't really want to add another show to my docket, as it were, my schedule. So I'm kind of glad I went that route. So it saved me some time, but also I'm like, okay, I'm good. Now,
Yeah.
another thing to check out is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. That is a film starring Pedro Pascal and a
Bruce Willis.
oh, Nicolas
Oh,
Cage.
sorry. Nicholas. Oh, I just fumbled that one, didn't I?
I There's no way I
Dang,
could have
man.
saved you. I even wanted to say close. I mean, 90s action star.
Man.
So,
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
I mean,
Hmm.
I felt you. I knew where you were going. It's just,
Yeah, okay.
but and you know what? I appreciated your confidence in your answer too. That was good. I liked it. You were like
Confident, loud, and wrong.
you said it with your chest. It was like
I
Bruce Willis
did,
is in
my
that
whole
movie,
chest.
and hmm
My whole chest.
and I mean, it was not the right answer, but the gusto was there, and that is what I'm appreciating. That is what I'm acknowledging, and I
All
like
right.
that.
All right.
Good.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna say something, you might as well mean it, even if you're wrong, right? Right?
Right. You had 10 toes down, 11 if
Hmm.
there's a toe I wasn't aware of, but you you said it, and I'm proud. But it was Nicolas Cage. So It was a good movie. I did enjoy it.
Okay.
I mean, it was different than what I thought it was going to be. There are some twists and turns, which is always good for a movie. So, definitely check it out. I did like it. I was trying to say, who else was in it? All of their names are escaping me. It doesn't matter. They weren't the stars, but it was fun. It was a fun movie. It was something like just for the adults to watch. It was just me and Ashley at the time. So I'm like, good. And again, Pedro Pascal, he's got range and I love it. So it's another thing. And I think the movie actually came out last year, but we were able to stream
Oh,
it
this
on,
year.
ooh, I can't remember which service it was on. I want to say it was Peacock, but I don't think it was Peacock. I don't know,
Hmm.
but we streamed it. So
What's it called again? The
The
unbearable
Unbearable of Massive
weight of
Talent.
massive talent. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's got such a long kind of stringy kind of title.
Ridiculous
So
name.
yeah, because there's another movie that I kept confusing it with. I can't even think of it right now because I'm seeing this one right in my face. So I'm sure that'll come to me later. The last thing I want to mention regarding Pedro Pascal is, or rather, are these ads for Merge Mansion. And I don't know if you've come across them, like
Oh,
either on YouTube.
yes.
You have?
On
Okay.
TikTok, I think I have. And I'm like,
They're
I keep looking at them and they're pretty good. And I'm like, I know him. He's like a real person.
I thought they were making this into a show, but no, it's just legit ads for this
A
game.
game. Yeah. Yeah.
The funny thing about it
Crazy.
is like um Kathy Bates was in the last batch of these or at least one of them as the grandmother.
Really?
Yes.
That's
So
cool.
I mean, you might as well at this point just make like a movie or something, go the Angry Birds route. I'm pretty sure you're making money because you've got
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal doing, at least two ads for you. So go ahead, make the movie because at this point I need to know what grandma did. Is he alive? Well, she says he's alive, whoever that is. And
Hmm.
yeah. Now I do want to go on another rant if you allow me to.
Go for it.
Okay, so as we are talking about these mobile games, and I don't think you play them as much as I do, and you come across a lot of these ads, but you may actually see these ads come up on YouTube or I guess maybe even on TikTok. So for those of you that do play these mobile games, such as maybe merge mansions or whatever you have to do, like you need more coins, you have to watch this 30-second ad. One of them
Hmm.
that comes up almost all the time is Royal Match. In fact, they've gotten to the point where they have like almost as if like they hired people to come on and talk about the game. Like, you won't believe it. I just played this game and there are no ads. And it's true. There are no ads. But
Okay.
the gameplay that they show you is this game, not this game, this king who is being chased all throughout like his castle or whatever. You have to make all
Hmm.
these matches, all these shapes because either fire is going to get him or he's going to drown or
Okay.
spikes are going to drill into, yeah, all these calamities. And
Hmm.
I've played the game before. None of that happens in the game at all. Like
Oh no, I hate when that
the
happens.
it's so annoying. The king is there, by the way. When you play the game, it's definitely a matching game. And I feel like
Yeah.
they do this on purpose. They show you someone playing the game and they suck at it. And like, yeah, you can do better. Play the game. Come on, download us. Play the game. You can do much better than this person here. You can save the king and then you do download the game and then you find out that the king is never in danger. In fact, you're playing the
Eh.
game so you can win points to redecorate his castle. So that's
Oh
it.
wow. Wow. Huh.
Yeah,
I,
no doubt.
it's
It's a time killer. Like it can be fun,
uh-huh.
but,
Sounds
but
almost
yeah,
like a waste though.
it
Like,
is. Like
I mean, I guess it's a
like
time
you
killer and it serves a purpose, but ooh.
I mean, you do want to save the king. Like I'm waiting. Like, yeah, I can get all the water out before he drowns. I can do that. But no, there's none of that. None of that at all. It's upsetting.
Uh, that does sound upsetting and a little
Uh,
disappointing.
a little, yeah, disappointing. Upsetting's too strong of a word. Um, and it's not the only one. Gardenscape does this too. And I've actually played Gardenscape almost for like a couple years. I kind of took a break because now I'm playing Townscapes. That's a different story. But Gardenscape, you'll see the ads again. You're going to see this woman. She's got like this little kid and they're freezing, but you need to like pull these pins out of like this contraption or else like either coal will come down so it can heat the place or coins will come down so she has money to buy a new window because the windows are broken. Why are you in this house freezing to death? I don't know. And then you
Mm-hmm.
do you pull out the wrong pins and all the coins are melted now. It's ridiculous. That is also not part of Gardenscapes. Gardenscapes is another matching game, and you're just trying to build your garden to be as beautiful as it can be. And maybe once every like 10 little mini games, you might have something like that, and that's it. Oh no. You have the garden keeper. He has got a name. I forgot what it is. He has a dream, and then you have to solve his dream, basically, and that's how you play these little games. It's weird, but more false advertisement because you think you're going to be playing these games where you're pulling these pins out to solve these
Mm-hmm.
puzzles, and that's not the game at all. So
Right.
yeah. So yeah, just
Frustrating.
had to
Basically, they're bait switching you. Yeah? No.
they yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Because they don't show
Mm.
you at all that you're just supposed to be matching berries and leaves and stuff. And
All right.
that's all the game is, mostly.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, I had to get that off my chest. I feel better now. Thank you.
Good. Good. You're welcome. That's what we're here for.
Now, there's another topic I want to discuss, and I feel like we would have to do an Indoob After Dark episode to kind of go deeper into it. And it's for the reason that I decided to set up the Indoob After Dark because I would like to get into topics that may be either controversial or maybe be a little heavy and, occasionally spicy, but this is one of the heavier topics. But
Okay.
I'm going to skip over the heavy part and we're going to talk about Kang, the Conqueror in Marvel or in the
Mm-hmm.
MCU, and the inevitability of Kang being recasted because currently Jonathan Majors is going through
Um,
some issues, which again we
still,
could discuss at a later time.
yeah.
So it hasn't been official as of today that he would be recast, but it seems like something that is probably going to happen. It's just a lot of moving parts that need to move or
Like
be
firm up,
removed.
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably why you haven't heard anything about it. There's been a lot of other things happening, like he's lost his I think like not representatives, like agency or agents. He lost
Mm,
other deals. There's a whole bunch of things that's been happening regarding Jonathan Majors. It's just nothing has come officially from Disney/Marvel as to what's happening with Kang the Conqueror. So that's the backdrop. The
okay.
what people are kind of rumoring or rumors that are starting to circulate is who's going to replace him as Kang.
Yeah.
And I've come up with three, two of which I've heard, and another one I'm like, okay, maybe this could work. So nothing's been official. So this is just dream casting, if you will. Who could be a worthy replacement? Someone who can be threatening and menacing. Wow, that's a hard
Menacing
word.
is menacing.
Okay. Yes. But it also has a lot of gravitas to them. And that
Yeah.
for me is what's important because Jonathan Majors embodies that. And Ashley and I talked about it and it's like, yeah, but and some of the names I kind of floated by her, she's like, yeah, he doesn't look big enough though. But I'm like, that it may not necessarily mean his size. He just needs to like he just walks in a room and all of a sudden like you just have this command like, oh, he's here
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, I'm gonna work backwards because my top answer, I would really like to see this top person get the role. But
Okay.
again, it's no one has said anything officially. It's just my list. First one I
Right.
have is actually the last name I added, and that's John Boyega. Because I
Ooh,
feel like,
yeah, okay. He could
yeah,
maybe
I feel
do
like,
it.
mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm
It,
100% sold on him, but maybe.
neither am I. But like, if he were to get it, I'm like, I won't be mad Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. I don't know if he might be soured by Disney altogether, just because of like what was happening with Star Wars, but who knows?
Right,
I guess
right.
if that paycheck is good enough, then sure. So, or if he even wants to do another franchise, because whatever. So our next one, and this one might take some Googling, maybe on your part. I know I definitely had to. Ashley had to, but Damson Idris. Hopefully, I'm
Idris.
pronouncing his name correctly.
Yeah,
Yes.
I um I don't know him, but or maybe I do. Let me see him
Take a
first.
quick Google. Yeah.
Yeah, do the quick Googles. So I've seen him. I think I've seen him before. I don't know how I know him though. So he must not be like super popular, maybe. But I mean, he looks okay. So I'm seeing the way that I searched it. I'm seeing the pictures of Jonathan Majors next to Damson Idris, and so it's hard to see the new potential guy. And I'm just like, no, there's no way he can do it. Like, he's
Hmm.
coming up after Jonathan Majors. No, of course he can't do it. But that's not fair, you know?
Right.
Uh,
Especially if you're not familiar with him either.
yeah,
And
and I'm not. I don't know this gentleman.
what- and that's fine too, because I'm still learning like his craft. I'm actually starting to watch Snowfall, which is what he's currently most famous for.
Okay,
And I'm only in season one, but apparently he gets
okay.
to a point within the show where like, oh, like
Mm,
like he may actually have that gravitas that I've mentioned I'm describing.
mm, okay.
So the jury's still out for me on him, but he was someone who
Yeah,
was listed as a replacement. So I'm
it's a
like, okay, I'll write your
potential.
name down. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll get to know you a little
So
bit. Don't get
uh,
comfy though, sir.
right, don't get comfy. Don't get comfy. So my number one pick for who could replace as Kang would be Coleman Domingo.
I
So
don't
if
know
that name
him.
does he
Coleman
for me, he's
Domingo.
someone who has a face, or not a face. Like I recognize his face, and I don't always remember his name. Like, oh yes, you're good in that. Like he's definitely in one of the Walking Deads. I don't know if it's the Fear of the Walking Dead. I think it might be Fear of the
Mm,
Walking Dead.
hmm
Um, there's an indie film out there called Zola, based on that
Yeah,
whole Twitter
the
story
Twitter
from years
thing.
ago.
Yeah.
Yes, he plays in because of his role in that movie. I feel he definitely could pull off Kang, like the menacingness, the
Yeah. And
the gravitas.
what's his name again? The first
Coleman
name?
Domingo. Oh, Coleman. Cole.
Coleman. Okay.
Yeah, Coleman.
Coleman Domingo.
Anyone who's
Okay.
watched
Okay.
Euphoria, he
Yeah.
shows up in the most recent season. Um,
Okay.
and he basically just talks to Zendaya, just trying to, get her character like grounded. I think it might actually be her sponsor. If not her sponsor,
Hmm.
just a support person for her.
Mm-hmm. I can
Because
see
he's
her or him. I can see him. I can see him doing being Kang.
yeah. Yeah, he's got the look. He's I mean, anytime I've seen him, and this was before all this discussion came up, he had the gravitas. He had just that
Uh-huh.
commandingness about him.
Right.
And
I
to
can
hear
see
him
it.
speak,
Mm. Okay. I'm gonna have to
yeah,
deep dive this one.
listen to him like, do some interviews, check out if you can find like any clips that he might be in, specifically maybe from Zola. That's for me, that's like one of the more recent things I've seen him in. I know he's been in dozens of other things, but he's a great actor, and I just love like, oh, he's in this. Okay, let me check it out then. So I feel like he's a good one. And that being said, dear listener, if you have any suggestions, you have any ideas, I'd love to hear what you might think be a good replacement. Kind of see, the examples that I've given. I'm trying to go in that range. I did come across something today, which I wish I could have shared with you earlier, Courtney, as
Mm.
who could be the next Denzel Washington? And they had like
Ooh,
28 actors on there.
interesting. Did you agree with the
Yes.
list? Yeah.
I agreed with the good majority of the list.
Okay.
And there were a few of them that I didn't recognize. I haven't really seen any of their work yet.
Yeah.
Um, And Jonathan Majors was on the list. So I'm like,
Okay.
okay. And they did acknowledge, what's going on. So they're like, well, he might
Yeah.
be gone for a little while, but yeah. So, and that's actually where I got John Boyega from when he showed up on the list.
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, all right.
Now
And
I've
then I
heard
just,
him being compared with Denzel a lot, but Kane, I'm not. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah,
I feel like there's mm, more folks who could better fulfill that role, I think. But I don't know. Maybe he could surprise me and I don't know.
true. Or maybe, and just like how I don't, I say we as a society tend to be like there
Hmm.
can only be one female rapper. There can always be more than one Denzel Washington. So,
True.
but spread the wealth and have a few great leading black men just
Hmm.
commanding the screen. So,
Right.
but I like the criteria. So what I'm going to do, I'll try to find that list, send it to you directly, but also put it in the show notes, and get a feel for what people think. So yeah.
Awesome.
Um, why don't we go to space? I'm sorry. Did you
Space.
know that the Hubble telescope is 33 years old?
I did. I didn't know it was
Uh
33 exactly, but I knew it was about that.
yeah, I didn't know it was that old, but it makes sense because it just seems like it's been around forever. And, like
Right.
re- yeah, they released some picture which I was trying to get a good copy of because you know how I like to do. I like to have space pictures as my desktop at work, and I
Hmm.
could not get the one. Like they released like a special one of some dark nebula, and I couldn't get that particular picture, and I wanted it. Like I need to put this in my collection, and I was unable to get it. But yeah, I just wanted to first start out with that, but that's not the real news. The real news I have is that Japan was on its way to the moon, and let me just confirm because it was a big deal because it wasn't just Japan going to the moon, but they were like commercially going, like bringing some kind of
Oh.
contraption to like, investigate and just scout out the moon area.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I believe they failed. I'm just trying
What?
to confirm it.
So did they actually go though?
They left, but they lost like mission control lost communication with their probe or whatever it was that they were sending.
Oh yeah. Thanks.
So I'm trying to find that article because I had it saved and then I ended up printing it and I'm like, okay, that's not helping me if I print an article or print the URL because yeah, I can't click on that. Um, there it is. Commercial lunar lander presumed lost after a historic moon landing attempt. So they had like an actual module that was going to land on the moon, but the whole thing, I guess, got lost somewhere.
Oh
And
wow.
it's still an ongoing situation. So we don't know
Like, are there
exactly what happened to it.
people? Or was there people on this? And are they good?
No, as far as I know, there was no people.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah,
That's
they
why
were
I
sending
said
a robot. Yeah,
just a
because
probe. Okay.
yeah, if people were involved, I think it would hopefully be a bigger story and more people would be like,
Yeah.
what happened to the people? Yeah, there's no people. Just they're just sending a rover there that was commercially made, and this is the first time I think they've been back to the moon in so many years. And then I guess find out if it's actually hollow or not, just like the movie that we watched. So,
Hmm.
mm-hmm.
Probably is.
Good science fact. Correct. It's a
Yep.
ship. It's a spaceship. That is all I had for space news for today. Um, what since I already talked about what I was grateful for, I kind of went through all of that. What would you say, or did you need a moment or do you already know what you're grateful for today?
I am grateful for my little office space, my new little office space. It's super cute, it's tiny, and it's all mine, and I love it.
Fantastic. Oh, yes, please do send me the updated photos so then I can put together a little gallery that I'll put on Patreon. So if people want to check it out, they can see it. Because you gave me other
Okay.
pictures as well. And yeah.
Have I not shown you the completed version?
Oh, it's not done yet?
No, it is done. I thought I showed you that though.
Um,
Yeah, I did it.
I think the last update that you showed me was uh the desk part, but it just needed I thought it needed something so it can like stay up.
Oh, well, that never materialized, but I figured out another way to make it happen. So it's mostly done, but I do have I did find an office chair.
Yes,
So
that was the last thing I was waiting for. It was a chair.
okay, so I ordered it. I have a chair. It's going to be here hopefully Thursday. So when I have that, I'll send you pictures and things.
Okay. Is that where
So
you're recording from today?
yes, it is.
Nice.
And it's so nice, so wonderful.
So it's not just an office, but it's a studio too.
The studio.
I
Yes, I
love it.
love it. My favorite
All
spot in the
right.
house for sure.
Well, I'm happy for you because I know that was a project that was like you thought about doing it and you did it, which,
Yep, yep.
that is your nature. You do think of a thing, you conceive it, and you bring it to fruition. So with pretty much everything that I've seen you do, you're able to do that,
Hmm.
and I remain in admiration of that quality about you. So yes.
Well, thank you.
Mhm. So now that again, I'm thankful for my Zyzal, which I did learn I need to take at night. So I probably need to take it soon because I feel my nose itching a little bit. It's wearing off from the 24 hours ness.
Hmm.
But I'm still thankful for that because again, not clawing at my face. I can breathe. Although I say that and my nose is itchy just a little bit, just a little bit. Moving on. Recommendations. Would you like to go first or do you want me to go?
You go first.
All right. And again, I've told you about this because I was just so excited about it, but I am recommending Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur on Disney Plus. It's also available, I guess, well, not available, but it's also on the Disney Channel, but we are cord cutters. We don't really watch TV like that. So as long as it's on some kind of streaming service like Disney Plus, then I'm able to watch it. And it's fun for the whole family. It is so great. I love seeing, I'm going to say Black Girl Magic, but I mean, there's a little bit of it, Black Girl Magic, but it's Black Girl Science, like
Yeah,
STEM or STEAM too, really. And
yeah.
I love the animation. I love the writing. The music is great. It's, I have no bad thing to say about it at all. And I just want more. It's already been renewed for a second season. I'm a little sad sometimes because Ken will go and watch it without us. And I'm like, oh, I'm missing episodes. And yeah, it's great. It's so much fun to watch. So enjoyable. And it's happy comfort. Not saying other shows that I've watched that we have talked about being comfort shows aren't happy, but it's got that like classicness about it. Like, oh wow, it makes me feel like a kid again. And I love it.
Hmm. Gonna have to give it a shot. You've sold it.
Mm. Yeah, and I was telling you personally about an episode which Ashley absolutely loved, and not gonna spoil too much of it, but I have to give you the plot. Now, again, if you're not familiar with who Moon Girl is, she is in the show. She's a 13-year-old girl who is basically the smartest ever. Like she's a genius. In the
Hmm.
comics, she's 9 years old, and she's actually stated as being the smartest person in the Marvel universe at 9 years old. But
Wow. Wow.
in the cartoon that hasn't quite been established, she's the smartest, but she is very, very smart. And she's a little older. And so she does fight crime with her dinosaur. And yes, she does have a dinosaur, which is established in the first episode, which I kind of missed because I was in the kitchen making dinner. But that becomes her pet, but also her sidekick when it comes to fighting crimes. And it seems like the whole city of New York, by the way, just seems to just go along with it. And like, oh, there she goes. Yeah, thank you for saving me. And happy dinosaur and whatever. So
Yeah.
they're cool with it. So all right. Um, say all that because she does have in one episode an issue just trying to get her hair together. She wants to get her hair straightened. And then her mom is like so against it, like, no, don't put those chemicals. You got to go natural and look at all the evolution of all the
Hmm.
times you got your hair done. And then she does something to her hair where it makes it fall out because she makes
Oh.
some super chemical. And she's
Hmm.
like, oh, I put too much juice in it. And then the hair itself basically gains a personality and becomes a supervillain.
Oh,
So
wow.
yes, so she is fighting her hair and literally. And yeah, the whole episode is great. It's dripping with blackness and I love it.
Yeah,
Uh
it sounds awesome.
I mean that's just that one episode and we've watched maybe 4 or 5 of them, but still it's I can't say enough good things about it. It's great. So go check it out.
You have
Okay, I'm
sold
done.
me.
Yes, I'll
Huh.
be following up to see if you check it out. But what would you recommend today?
Ugh, I don't have a good, I've been thinking, and I don't have a good recommendation because I've been
Hmm.
watching trash TV, and I will not admit what trash I've been watching, um, lest I be judged, because I might be judged a little bit, so I can't do that.
I
Um,
already accidentally judged you when I sent you that emoji of the finger pointing at you. So if you want to cast any like previous judgments, I'm not sure how I'm trying to word it, but pretend I already judged you. So go ahead and what have you been watching?
mm, I have been watching the Baddies series.
Hmm.
Have you ever heard of Bad Girls Club?
Yes.
It's basically that, but they've rebranded because they're no longer with Oxygen. And so the name
Oh.
is now Baddies. And it's still got some of the people who was on Bad Girls Club. It's definitely in the same vein as Bad Girls Club. So a bunch of ladies getting together to fight each other and cuss each other out and just be real ratchet. And
Hmm.
it is the trash TV I've been needing because it's so stupid and so like like mindless.
So so it's a show that like you don't even I mean you literally just said it like you don't need your brain for it. Just turn it on
No,
and it's like there and it's produced for you to just turn your brain off.
I think so. You know, and I know I don't recommend it, but that's what I've been watching. And and like there's a guy version, so I think they're called Bad Boys. I haven't watched them yet. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it, but I just that's what I've been watching, and that's all I gotta say about it. Do what you will with that
Now,
information.
okay. And just in case anyone is looking for it, not that it's recommended, but where can it be found?
So it's on a network called Zeus, and it is a
Right.
streaming
Okay.
platform. So you do have to pay for it, or power it off of somebody else, um,
Mhm.
or just do it the legal way. Wink, wink. But I I bought it, and it's like I think $5.99 for a month. And I've been binging it because I was like, "There's no way I'm keeping this streaming service." I'm doing this for a month and then I'm out.
Mm,
So that's kind of where we are. Yeah.
okay. I mean, once you said Zeus, it brought everything back, and because I remember hearing about the guy version. I don't,
Hmm.
which you did mention. I did hear about it, um, and all the like, because I think it's on the guy's version. That guy who was kept coming out of people's trunk. Um, oh my God, what is that song he was singing? Because he went
I
viral
don't know.
for it. Um, oh, something about it's money time or it's I forgot what it is now, but I think he was on that show too.
Hmm.
Um,
I don't know.
where the money reside. That's it.
Oh, because I keep hearing that song and I'm like, man, they must know the person who did the song because they steady playing it over and over and over. Okay. Yeah, that you're closing a couple circles for me. Thank you.
No problem. See, this is, I'm glad you opened up and this is a friendly zone, not a judgment zone.
Oh, uh-huh.
So, because I'm telling you, I'm familiar with, I haven't watched it because I don't have
Yeah,
access to Zeus. And
yeah.
I, in the back of my head, I keep thinking like, yeah, I think I do need like a kind of brainless show because a lot of stuff that we watch, it's things that usually I want to pay attention to and
Hmm.
not necessarily learn, but I want to be entertained. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to go to sleep because I'm going to miss, the story. And if the story doesn't really matter, that's what I need. So,
This is that show. Now, it ain't for everybody. But
hmm,
there's a lot of drama, and yeah, it's a reality show, but it's like more than normal. They fight over stupid stuff, and they don't just argue. They yell at the top of their lungs, and you can't hardly hear what anybody's yelling about. They cuss like sailors, and then they brawl like they in jail, and it can be a little much at times.
hmm,
So, if you choose to watch at your own risk, check in with yourself, make sure you're good,
hmm.
and or just change, just don't watch it. So, but it is
That,
definitely, something you can not think about, and it does hold your attention because there's always so much going on, even if it is pretty stupid. But
hmm.
it's like mindless TV, and it's great. So take that as you will.
I think I will. And as you mentioned it, I realize that probably would be something that Ashley would not want to watch at all. Because, I mean, we already had enough screaming at the top of your lungs across the hall from us. They moved out. But yeah, real life,
Yeah,
real
it can
reality.
be. Yeah,
Yeah.
it can be kind of stressful. So it's definitely not for everybody. And even I have to watch it like in increments. I can't just, I mean, I can binge it, but then I'm not like, I'm just like, oh, I'm in a bad mood now. And that's just not how you want to feel after TV. So,
I mean, if that's the case, I would say you might as well just go ahead and watch Tyler Perry's The Oval. Yeah, you didn't think I was going to let you forget about that one, huh?
why won't you let me forget about that one though?
Because it
Let
is
me let me
well
go.
produced. It is well produced, scripted trash television. How about that?
At least you're keeping it real. So
Hmm.
there's something.
I mean,
You're keeping it real.
you're getting into some trash, you're getting into some drama,
Yeah,
and you're just gonna be
definitely.
like, what just happened? And is it
Oh, the
still
way
the
you
same
talk
day?
about it, the way you talk about it is like, you know what? I get the time dilation with baddies as well. Like I think at the end of one of the seasons, they were like, "Man, this has been the craziest 10 days," and I was like, "What do you mean it's been 10 days in real life? This hasn't been 6 months? Excuse me? What? What?" But
I
so okay, fine.
mean, I seriously need someone else to commiserate with because season one is takes place in one day, and I'm not talking about the kind of day
Shut
like
up. No,
the
one
the
day.
action the action of like the hit show 24 that used to be on Fox for like 8 seasons.
Yeah,
Not
right.
like that. Not like that. Because people are like shot up or in car accidents and they're in the hospital and they're out. And apparently they're only there for a couple hours. Like you had a whole gown on and everything. And now you're
Yeah.
back out berating your nephew for holding up some for being in jail and then being back out. What is happening? And is there more happening? Like
Wow.
keep going. And
Sounds
I
like
have
it's
yet
in the vein of what I've been watching, actually.
yes, that's what I'm saying. It's scripted trash. But
Yeah.
I was going to say well produced, but that might be stretching it a little bit. It's produced, but it's scripted trash
Well,
with
that's okay.
and I
That's saying
and I mean
something.
that and I mean that like sincerely. Like I know there are actors that are going to work, they're doing their thing, they're just doing what's on the
Yeah.
script.
Yeah.
And I applaud them for doing it. And I mean I am there, I am watching it. Like what
Hmm.
more do you want? And I'm talking about it. I'm telling people to watch it. So
Right.
watch it. Not you per se, but just, I because I need to continue. I need to watch season two. I don't know if I have access to it anymore, but I need to see if I do. And
Hmm.
I don't know. I have to kind of trick Ashley into watching it because she's like, "Oh no, we're not watching this," because she said that to me
Oh,
numerous times.
yeah.
I'm like, it's like, but we gotta. I need to know because I need to get to certain scenes that have been like teased on Twitter like years ago, and I haven't gotten there yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I need to know how. First of all, how do we get there, and how does it resolve?
Yeah.
So, and
Makes
as far as I
sense.
know, I think the show is still going on. I think, but yeah, yeah, that that wasn't my recommendation, but since we were talking about trash TV, and yeah,
Yeah.
all right. So, all of that said, you still off the grid?
Still off the grid.
All
Don't
right,
I like it. I like it down here. So we'll see if I ever come back. I don't know.
down like you're underground. Is that what you mean? Like down here?
Like, sure, yeah. Underground.
Or in
Yeah.
your office
In
studio?
my little hobbit hole.
Mm-hmm. Your little hidey hole. Yes, I know you said hobbit
A
hole,
little
but I
hidey
like
hole.
hidey hole. I like hidey hole
Okay.
better.
I like hidey hole better.
Mm-hmm.
I can get with that.
Yes. And I'm just you said things with your chest earlier. I'm gonna say it too because I was kind of like tiptoeing around it before, and I'm like, yeah, I am on Black Twitter, the Black Twitter app,
Mm-hmm.
blacktwitterapp.com. And
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying with my chest is that it's for us. It's for Black people. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you are someone of a different color, if you are, I'll just come out and say if you're a white, I'm not gonna say you're not welcome, but
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna get a whole lot of side eyes and probably some blocks. I'm just saying.
Uh-oh. Okay.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying
Yeah.
you can't go. I'm just saying, just trying to be real with you. But
It's a space for Black people.
right, correct. So that's
Okay.
mostly where I hang out in these social medias, and
Mm-hmm.
occasionally on Twitter, occasionally TikTok. Like I'm trying to take clips from this very show and just post it on there so people are aware, like, hey, I'm doing stuff. We're talking about
Mm-hmm.
nonsense and you should come join us and laugh or cry or whatever it is what we're feeling. So
Yeah.
come on over and also tell people like, hey, there's a Patreon that you can see Kortney's hidey hole. Wow, that came out weird. But you can we have
Did.
extra content
Yeah.
and just more, just more stuff, more things to like movie reviews. And I feel like that's what we'll do. Like in the future, you and I will talk off mic. We'll come back and figure out like we'll get into the Mandalorian and what's so great about it and where it's gonna go next. What's happening
Yeah.
in the Star Wars world? Star World.
Star Wars world. Yeah.
Yes.
Weird. Weird. Yeah.
I think I might have said it right the first time and then I thought about it and then I got lost. But yes. So yeah, you can find me at all things at indoob on the Black Twitter app, Instagram, all that good stuff. Um, please remember to tell someone you value that you value them, live without regrets, and live for the folks you love. I've been your benevolent host, T. Sterling Watson. Oh yeah, don't forget to wash your legs, your feet, the undersides of your dishes. Wash your children. Sometimes they need a little help, and their
Yes.
face is gross. I tried
Yes.
not to mommy my child, and his whole face was all weird and gross. I was like, I don't know if it was drool or what. I don't know, but I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it's apparent you're a parent. Anyway,
Yeah.
I've been your benevolent host, T. Sterling Watson. And remember, if the world didn't suck, we'd all fall off henceforth and forevermore. And the church said,
Amen.
amen indeed. Thank you and good night. Thank you so much for listening to the Indoob podcast. To get more Indoob in your life, check out indoob.com, patreon.com/indoob, and of course, merch over at TeePublic. Email us your Ask Indoob questions, comments, or just say hi at indoobpod@gmail.com. Linky dinks in the descripts. Please rate, comment, follow, subscribe, and hashtag tell your friends. Until next time.